Good day everyone. I would like to introduce myself before get into the topic. I am Kitna Balakrishnan with a metric number 272613. We are from Group 6. Would like to present to you about the Group Assignment 3 for Management Accounting 1. The title that we choose for the group assignment is History of Activity-Based Costing, Development and Evaluation. So, do you all know what is ABC? It's not about the English alphabet ABC. It is activity-based costing. What is activity-based costing? In accounting costing system is an important framework to help firms and business to decrease their operation costs by analyzing and controlling certain items. All these years, companies were using traditional costing system for decision making and control purposes. Recently, a new costing system was discovered to match with developing companies. Activity-based costing, which is known as ABC, is a costing method that assigns overhead and indirect costs to related products and services. This accounting method of costing recognizes the relationship between the cost, overhead activities, and manufactured products, assigning indirect costs to product less randomly than traditional costing method. However, some indirect costs such as management and office staff salaries are difficult to assign to a product. There are two stages of ABC, where the first one is include the resources that do not fall into the direct cost, and the second stage where each activity cost is attached to a product in proportion to selected measure of their individual workload. Do you all know why traditional costing system was replaced by activity-based costing? First of all, the traditional costing system does not provide non-financial information such as cycle time and turnover rate in a company. Inaccurate information and predominant overhead costs are also other reasons for the replacement. When designing activity-based costing, the objective should be clear for the successful implementation. Some objectives that a company can use are to provide information about manufacturing activities. With that objective, to motivate and support waste elimination programs, or to provide information about non-manufacturing activities that supports cost reduction in these areas. The cycle of activity-based system starts with creating objective and ends with the implementation. After setting the objective, the firms need to hire a team just to monitor the system. A perfect team consists of 4 members that should be a leader, an accountant, a production supervisor, and an industrial engineer. Next, the team should analyze the organization issues to be considered in the framework design. Identifying activities, primary cost drivers, activity cost pool, secondary cost drivers, and cost objective are the following steps for a perfect activity-based cost system. For a successful implementation of an ABC system, management should convince to change the traditional costing system because ABC, which is activity-based costing, is quite different from an existing system. The primary aim of a new system is not to create an elegant or technically robust solution, but to provide a solution that will change the behavior. Let's see together what was the history of activity-based costing, ABC. In 1970s, the activity-based costing method was developed in manufacturing industry to handle the issue of traditional cost price calculation. In the late of 1980s, Professor Robert Kaplan and Robin Cooper designed activity-based costing in the United States. It can be considered as a modern alternative to absorption costing as it enables managers to gain a more comprehensive view of product and customers' net profitability. This improves the business ability to make value-based and this more effective decision. Activity focused on cost drivers or the behavior that increase cost, while traditional absorption costing is primarily concerned with volume related to drivers such as labor hours. Activity-based costing incorporates transactions related to the factors such as the number of orders received, thus long-term variable overhead and previously classified as fixed costs can be traced to the product.
Hello, my name is Kaushalya, metric number 272841. Next, I will present the development of activity-based costing. Before there was activity-based costing, there was cost accounting. Cost accounting works well for the item or service-based firm to generate the actual cost of manufacturing an item or fulfilling a service. The direct cost of completing a project were put in with the indirect cost of overhead to arrive at the actual price. Over the year, several cost accounting methods developed due to the flows of the simple cost method. Manufacturing and processing companies found it difficult to implement cost accounting since tracking the processes was complex. For example, purchases number of material to create a variety of different goods using various procedures. One tree may generate a rime of paper and some marketable by product. It was always hard to track the exact cost of the tree utilized for each particular product created or job performed. These businesses subsequently devised what they call process costing. Process costing keep track of the cost for each process or department rather than for each work or unit. The cost of producing the paper and the cost of by product assigned to the process. Same goes to the indirect cost. Cost accounting and process accounting are difficult for companies with complex procedures and manufacturing practices, such as a company that uses various raw material to generate a variety of commodities. Activity-based costing was found in response to overcome these challenges by segmenting production into its core activity. After this division, the cost of these activities are calculated and assigned to products based on how much of each activity is needed to produce a product.
Hi, my name is Janavana Pambaramamurthy with metric number 280358. Today I'll talk about the evolution of ABC model system. Our group searched three journal articles for evolution of models ABC model system. First, article 1, article 2 and article 3. Hi, now I'll talk about the article. We searched three articles and the three articles are mainly about the evolution of ABC system. We get a similar information that is first the stage of the evolution are interrelated and therefore the decision made at stage and influences the decision at the stage also. Extra from that article, ABC system has passed through many stages of development and rich is the currently familiar form. We get it from from journal article 1. By the way, from journal article 2, we get it that since the during yearly system developed specific applications are developed until this day. From the third article, we get it that the evolution of ABC system, each stage have significant consequences that reduces the complexity. Hi, now I'll talk about the article. We searched three articles and the three articles are mainly about the evolution of ABC system. We get a similar information that is first the stage of the evolution are interrelated and therefore the decision made at stage and influences the decision at the stage also. Extra from that article, ABC system has passed through many stages of development and rich is the currently familiar form. We get it from journal article 1. By the way, from journal article 2, we get it that since the during yearly system developed specific applications are developed until this day. From the third article, we get it that the evolution of ABC system, each stage have significant consequences that reduces the complexity. Next will be the phase 2. In this phase, the first stage is in the early 80s. In this phase, some significant activity-based costing were found and officially stated in comparison of previous method in ABC approach and focuses on accurate produce costs. The next will be the phase 3 in the first stage. In the first stage is beginning midway through the 80s, and this phase it is defined by recognition of ABC contribution to the decision-making process are through more accurate cost and product profitability information, as well as proponents' response to the theoretical concept. This is the base will help to identify the ABC system as separate system. The informational separate system, and in this phase the informational need to construct the model was identified, the method for recognizing cost trivia and the criteria for choosing them defined, and the techniques to classify the aggregation of costs will determine, and the criteria for choosing them defined and the techniques to classify the aggregation of costs will determine. As for the second stage, the model focus on the product to process. The model focus product to the process. Unlike the first phase, which began by identifying the activities which cost method. At the second stage, the models begin by identifying the activities and the productivity, which is productivity, sales, distribution, and administration, and one more will be the matching the activities to the process. The main goal of the generation model was the remedy in accuracy in overhead allocation to product cost by cost accounting, but as research progressed, it became evident that ABC could be used for more than just that. The models developed in phase were an extension of those developed in previous stage, since they continue to focus in internal operation and provide an analysis of tactical costs but not yet strategic costs. Here I am again with the evolution of ABC model, and I will explain about the third stage, which is for strategic planning. Extend the analysis from internal to external activities to the business unit. The cost to specify accurately the cost of supply products or services. The decision makers will take wise price decision this stage, and the relation between actives and process between process and business units. There is a model which is two-dimensional model, which is called as Turney and Stratton 1992. The first stage is allocated to the activities to cost drivers, and the second stage will be activities costs are loaded on the cost target. Next, I will talk about the fourth stage. Okay, this will be the last stage, which is fourth stage in evolution of ABC model. The fourth stage shows that an integral component of business performance management solutions, the same two-dimensional model, which is Turney and Stratton. A multi-faceted algorithm databases for financial and organizational information. The next will be the new profitability management tools to increase analytic power and effectiveness, based on the ABC system information, and the third will be the important source of performance measures. Then it will combine with forecasting and analytic tactics to support phase-based scenarios, and the ABC system support the formulation of long-term plans and budgets consistent. That's all from me. For the first stage, I conclude as summary because it will take too long time. Thank you. That's all from me. And the next presenter will be present about the conclusion.
I will explain about the evolution of ABC by using this hype cycle. So, hype cycle is a graphic representation of maturity, adoption, and business application of a technology. ABC hype cycle has 6 phases, which is technology trigger, peak of inflected expectation, truth of disillusionment, slope of enlightenment, plateau of production, and post-plateau. For technology trigger from 1984 to 1987, innovation in cost accounting it discontinues. Innovation is generally the result of trigger and external impulse that stimulates innovation. Next, peak of inflated expectation from 1987 to 1991 for generation. The peak of inflated expectation is a bubble of enthusiasm for a new technology. For ABC, the journey to the top of the bubble was accompanied by extensive publicity and the emergence of a first generation method and tools. Truth of disillusionment from 1991 to 1995. The excesses involved in scaling the peak of inflated expectation led invisibility to the busting of the bubble. Continue with climbing the scope of enlightenment 1995 to 2000 second generation. Climbing the scope of enlightenment was characterized by increased market penetration and continued technology development. Next, plateau of productivity from 2000 to 2006 third generation. The plateau of productivity is where the adoption rate approaches mainstream use of the technology, a market penetration exceeding 30%. It is the point at which the benefits of the technology are recognized and believed to exceed the cost and effort required to implement. And the last one is post-plateau from 2006 until present, fourth generation. The beginning of the post-plateau phase considered with the use of ABC as an integral component of a new generation of business performance management solution. This new solution includes profitability management, performance measurement, financial management, substitutability, and human capital management.
In conclusion, there are many benefits in applying activity-based costing, but there are disadvantages too. The most obvious advantage is cost reduction. The detailed analysis of activities and the costs that are required for costing provide an enhanced visibility and a new perspective. And on overhead costs, when the costs are high, the value of product is low, and the activity becomes the target of the cost reduction and improvement. Next, activity-based costing helps in performance per measurement. The information provided by activity-based costing on cost drivers and cost drivers per rate shows that there are potentially powerful influence on the behaviors of the staff and they are used as a performance measures. The measures can compare over time or across production units. Activity-based costing also helps with decision making. The accurate and detailed information by an activity-based costing system aids sales management in making decisions about product pricing and product profitability. Moreover, activity-based costing also provides information related to both the setting and the using of overhead budgets. When a higher volume of cost drivers is expected, increased commitment of resources may be justified. It will provide a detailed framework of analyzing cost of variance. As for the disadvantages, activity-based costing might improve product costing accuracy, but there is no guaranteeing that its output represents the product and services. Cost of an organization, as it doesn't eliminate the needs for all apportionment and education. Not all tasks can be directly linked to individual products, and as demonstrated, and miscellaneous overhead costs in any project. They will need to be allocated in a more traditional way, simply by dividing the total cost per year into the total labor hours per year and allocate on a labor house basis. Activity-based costing system also requires a considerable investment of resources to design, implement, and operate. There can be managerial difficulties in dealing with mismatch between formal department and activities. Nevertheless, it is clear that activity-based costing system is much better comparing to the traditional costing system. To sum it all up, activity-based costing system is more suitable for developing companies and gives more accurate information and decision making easier. Thank you.